It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 Dick, 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 go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Yeah, it was, I think, it seemed like the hottest race of the year. Track was hot, the lines, the grooves. My car was super good, our Dodge Charger, and was just really fast. And we got to work on it. We kept making small adjustments, and you could either go a little bit, get just a touch tight, or a little loose, or whatever. In those last probably 60 laps, we were a little on the free side, but the front was just really positive. And when the front end turns as good as that thing does, it was just fun to drive all day.
We've got this crew chief right here, and this is Kenny Francis. And Kenny, what did it look like atop the pit box today?
Well, it was a long race. I got us in a pretty big hole there at the beginning of the race. Just tried to take 2 tires, call off a 4-tire stop, go 2-tire stop, and I thought I had the tire changer out of the corner of my eye. I didn't realize he had hit some lug nuts already on the left front. So we had to come back in and take left sides, and got us all the way in the back. I think we were like, I don't know, 36th or something. And just Kasey did a great job driving it back up through the field. We had a really good car to be able to do that. It was pretty impressive to watch, really, for me. We didn't really adjust on it much, just a little bit here and there. And you know, there at the end, I finally was relieved that we got back up front and we were leading the race, and all kind of crazy strategies started happening. I was like, well, man, what should we do now? So I had to start thinking again. But fortunately, it worked out.
Take questions now for our winning team. If you have a question for either Kasey or Kenny, raise your hand. We'll bring you the wireless. State your name, who you're with. Please go ahead.
For both of you, this is Don Caldwell with the Florida Times Union. His father-in-law worked in our press room.
Yeah, he does.
For both, when your car is that good, when you drop down to 38th place with the mistake on pit road, was it easy for you both to keep your heads up and say, all right, this is no problem, we can make this up?
Well, I was pretty down, pretty mad at myself. The biggest thing I was worried about, I was afraid it was going to rain, you know, and we wouldn't have time to get back up there. I figured if it went the whole distance, we'd probably have time to get back up there. And then after, you know, we made a restart, and he drove it, you know, up into like the, I don't know, top 15 pretty quick. I thought we were going to be okay at that point. I was a little bit relieved that we got back up there, so I could stop kicking myself. But
yeah, I was, you know, when they first told me, when I left the pits, I was like, great call, Kenny, way to go. 2 tires, that's you know, because we came out second. And I was like, man, perfect. And then he's like, well, you're going to bring that back in. You only got 2 lugs on the front, left front, or 3 or whatever. So I never really said anything. Kenny was pretty down, and I was like, man, it's the way it is. We'll do what we can and get back up there, and hopefully we'll have no problems. I was more worried about just, you know, when you're back there, it's, you know, it's tough racing back there. It's tough racing all the way through these fields, and 20 to 30, I mean, that's a tough spot to be because everybody's racing so hard. And you know, so just getting through there, but I could pull off, I could get under cars off of turn 1, beat them into the tunnel, and then I could pull under, you know, probably from 15th to 40th, somewhere in there. I could pull under getting into 3 and run the normal line, the old line, and pass them. So, you know, our Budweiser Dodge was just that good that I didn't have to run on that strip all day. Now, to run my fastest laps, I had to run on the strip, but, you know, it was, I could go anywhere with it, and when you can go anywhere, you can go where the car in front of you isn't, and so it made it a lot easier than I expected.
Got a question? You got another follow-up?
So essentially, you kind of became the guy that said, hey, don't worry about it, because usually it's the crew chief says, don't worry about it. That because you
Well, I just knew what the car felt like. I knew where we were and how strong it was, and you know, once we got back to racing, that call at the end when we pitted, if we didn't pit when we pitted, we would have been in the 20s, you know, and we had a huge lead. So maybe not the 20s, probably been in the 10s though, somewhere around 10th. Yep. But you know, so Kenny stepped right back up, you know, made perfect calls the rest of the day. That call he made was perfect. It was just he couldn't see the front tire changer quite in time. So I mean, it wasn't, everything was right. We just had a little fumble there and had to go to the back and got it all back.
Kasey, Adi Joseph from the Morning Call. You had Your pit on on lap 175. How big was that toward the end of the race after the caution? You didn't have to pit then.
Yeah, that was huge. That's what I was just talking about. If we didn't pit on 175, we wouldn't have been third on that restart. We would have been 10th or 11th, and that would have been tough to get back to the front, in that short amount of time. So it was just a perfect call when we pitted. We didn't need to pit at that time, but Kenny did because that was his plan, that was his strategy, and it worked out.
Tony, go ahead.
Tony Fabrizio, Tampa Tribune. Kenny, how do you guys go in a month's time from being kind of so-so to having probably the fastest car in the circuit right now?
Well, everybody says that, but I mean, we've been running good all year. We started off, we ran really good at Daytona. We went to California. We honestly had a car that could have run with the 99 at California. We just had something messed up with where we had the jack stop, and it wouldn't jack up right in the pit box all day, and they couldn't get the tires off of it right, and we ended up, we were top 10, but we had a car that could run with them there. Vegas guy had the walking death flu, and we finished 8th, and Atlanta we were so ran 20th, learned some stuff, and then we had a good run at Texas going, and something broke the splitter off of it, crazy, and then we had a good run at Phoenix going and cut a right front tire. We had a good run at Talladega, led some laps, and got in the big one, so we've had a really good season going. It's just we stay kind of quiet, and nobody talks about us a lot, which is fine with me. I don't mind it, but I'm sure Budweiser wants everybody to talk about us
Until we start winning.
Yeah, but I felt like anyway, and the whole company's kind of been on a we're going to take this slow and steady and build it back up from where we were at, and that's what we've done, and we've still got a long way to go. We keep learning every week, and we're trying to get better every week. So it's tough sledding out there for sure.
How many lug nuts did the changer get off?
He got 3 of them off. So we definitely had to come back. I mean, if he'd only knocked one off, we would have probably stayed out because the official didn't see it. So.
Honest. We're going to go upstairs for a couple, then we'll come back down, Jenna. Go ahead.
Jeff Buck from NASCAR. I just am not quite understanding because at the beginning of the race, I think you were behind the 48 and you had a tough time passing even though you had a better car, and it's sort of like the same old aero thing here and the aero thing that everybody else went through today. Then you drop all the way back and you're able to just zoom up through the field. I mean, as difficult as the new car seems to be as far as aero, I just don't understand. Can either of you explain how you were able to do that at all?
I was at the start of the race. I was surprised how hard it was behind Jimmy, but the track was green. There's a little bit of rain last night, and it wasn't quite as hot as it was later. So, I think just as the tires got on the racetrack, the rubber, and the longer the race went, the cars just got more separated, and they weren't. Jimmy was in open air, and he was fast. He was fast all day. So, we were just there. We were right on him, and finally got a good run on him. But,
I mean, for me, you could see. To me, there's no need to pass him at that point. I mean, just ride. You could see that the car was better from where I was sitting. He's going to pass him eventually, so there's no reason to push it. Just ride it out and pass him when you can. Is what I saw.
And once I got back there, I had to
go.
There was no waiting. We had to go. So I don't know. It's just kind of difficult at times. But when my car was so good today, and the longer the race went, the hotter the track got, the slicker the racetrack got, the better our car got. So that just made it easier.
Stay upstairs for a couple more. Go ahead.
Casey Kahne, Yahoo Sports. Can you just sort of talk about your mindset last year? Was your confidence down at all ever? And then sort of talk about where you are now compared to last year.
Yeah, I mean, as a driver, I didn't feel like my confidence was down. I went to the track every week and felt like I was ready to win and ready to, I went in with a good attitude. But until I actually won this year, the All-Star race, I realized that I think I was leaving a little bit out there and wasn't communicating quite like I probably should have been with Kenny, and maybe I wasn't communicating quite as well as I have in the past. So since then, I've done a better job, and it's just kind of like everything's kind of clicking at the same time. And I don't think it started at the All-Star race. Like Kenny said, we've had good cars all year, but the Charlotte test, I feel like we hit on some things, and we had a great car at Darlington until I ran it into the wall. So that was, to me, where it all started. Charlotte test and Darlington, we were hitting on some things at that point.